This is Detective Recapped. Today I'm going to explain an American comedy drama film called Yes, God Yes. Spoilers ahead, watch out, and take care. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. But for this beginning, we're kicking off with a passage from the book of Revelations, which describes how those who are carnally immoral will burn in a lake of fire and sulfur. This is directly followed by the textbook definition of salad tossing. You know, the act where you put your mouth where the honey is. Or comes out, rather. It's the year 2000 somewhere in Midwestern America, and a young teenage girl named Alice is beginning to experience new urges and curiosities amid her strict Catholic community. This leads to a confusing time in young Alice's life, as she feels ashamed of these new yet wholly natural human feelings. To make matters worse, she's also convinced that she'll go straight to hell if she gives in to these temptations. As Alice sits in class, she feels perturbed and shocked as Father Murphy explains how sacred intercourse is and how it must only be done within the confines of marriage, lest you damn yourself to the ever-burning fires of hell. What surprises Alice the most is that even pleasuring yourself is a sin, which is a thought that had never occurred to her. It doesn't help her that her best friend, Laura, just loves making fun of Alice for her desires, and she recounts the time where Alice asked her to rewind the famous love scene in Titanic. Among the other people in the strict Catholic high school are Wade and his girlfriend, Heather. Unlike Alice, who has one foot in another possible viewpoint, Wade and Heather are fanatically absorbed in the dogmatic teachings about sensuality and all that comes with it. And of course, there's Mrs. Vetta, who is the shimmering beacon of disciplinary and religious authority, frequently scolding and reprimanding kids with no belts, kids with the wrong haircut, and kids with skirts that are just a millimeter too short for our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Alice comes home to an empty house since her parents are yet to arrive. To pass the time, she enters an AOL chat room that's hosting a game. Though the forum is wholesome and innocent, things take a different turn, as one of the members message Alice directly to send her some very inappropriate photos. Since Alice is largely inexperienced with these things, she finds herself confused when the man mentions her getting wet. Of course, this leads to the man asking her what she looks like, and Alice responds by sending a photo of Heather instead, and her chatmate seems pleased. Just as Alice is beginning to explore the concept of self-stimulation and touch herself, she's suddenly interrupted by her mother, who's just come home. The following day at school, a baseless rumor starts circulating around the campus, saying that Alice tossed Wade's salad. This reaches the ever-omniscient ears of Mrs. Vetta, and she prevents Alice from serving at Mass. After confessing to Father Murphy her latest batch of sins, excluding the racy chat with a stranger, Alice quickly fervently kneels and completes the 20 prayers given to her. To help deal with these new and challenging feelings, Alice decides to attend the Kirkos retreat. Laura also joined, and she's thrilled when she learns that their resident popular girl Nina is also there. Laura admires Nina and wants to get on her good side, while Alice meets a hunky football player, Chris. The girl's an immediate goner as her mind's immediately flooded with desirous thoughts of him. In the retreat, the boys and girls have separated lodgings, and Nina comes in to confiscate each watch and cell phone of the retreat members. Instead of surrendering hers, Alice hides her phone and claims that she doesn't have one. As the retreat goes on, Chris and Alice become assigned to the same group, and the two of them start bonding with one another. During the first night of the retreat, Alice accidentally discovers that she can pleasure herself using the vibration of her phone. She's enjoying herself immensely, up until the moment that she notices the cross inside the room. Her pleasure is quickly replaced by deep feelings of shame and guilt, as she's reminded of the teachings ingrained in her. The following day, the group goes to the woods to gather materials for the campfire. Alice accidentally trips and falls, so Chris picks her up to take her to the clinic. Alice thoroughly enjoys being held by Chris, and as she's feeling all the right kinds of good inside her pants, Alice hurriedly goes to her room and retrieves her phone. But while Alice is putting her phone back, Nina comes in and confiscates it after hearing sounds coming from within the drawer. Aghast that Alice lied about her phone, Nina feels compelled to tell Father Murphy about it. This earns Alice a stern scolding from Father Murphy, who's all too eager to put her down because of it. The whole phone thing earns her the punishment of having to do cleaning duties for the entirety of the retreat. One afternoon, Alice spots a computer inside Father Murphy's office. Because of the constant teasing she's receiving about tossing Wade's salad, Alice goes onto an AOL chat room to ask what it meant. Unfortunately, Alice only manages to receive half an explanation before she hears somebody coming in. This has her hurriedly turning the computer off and bolting out. Unbeknownst to her though, she only managed to turn off the monitor, but not the entire thing. Their next retreat activity involves reading the letters that the parents sent to the kids out loud. Father Murphy takes each letter one by one and recites them verbatim. When it's Alice's turn, the letter she got is from her father, who emphasizes how proud he is that she grew up to be a wholesome woman. Instead of having warm feelings about the sentiment, Alice can only feel guilt. After that, the kids are separated into their groups. Alice goes to her group with Chris, and he leads them to share a painful experience that they've recently had. Everyone in Alice's group has something substantially tragic to share, but she doesn't have any. Pressured to share something with the group, Alice invents a story about her dog dying. Later on during lunch, Father Murphy stands in the middle of the cafeteria to make an announcement. As it turns out, Father Murphy has discovered the AOL chat that Alice was on last time. Father Murphy knows that no one will claim responsibility for it, but he urges the unknown person to come forward before the retreat ends and duly reminds everyone that God saw what they did. Of course, he makes sure to say this in a tone that borders on threatening. Later on, during the routine confessions, Father Murphy confronts Alice about the rumor with Wade. Try as Alice may to deny the truth behind the rumor, Father Murphy still believes that it's true, leaving Alice to feel frustrated and trapped. As the rumor of Alice's supposed salad tossing grows more prevalent, she realizes that it's gone too far. During one of her cleaning shifts at lunchtime, Alice confronts Wade for not doing anything about the ever-spreading rumors. Wade has a guilty look about him, but he leaves the cafeteria without apologizing. While Alice cleans up Wade's food tray, she sees the promise bracelet that has his girlfriend Heather's name on it. Later, when her cleaning duties lead her to the back part of the kitchen, Alice sees Nina kissing someone and giving him head. Shocked but aroused, Alice begins rubbing against the shaft of the mop she's holding. She is nearly caught by the elderly nun, but fortunately she manages to stop just in time. Alice later shares what she had witnessed with her friend Laura, but since Laura basically worships Nina, she's not inclined to believe anything that would tarnish her idol's reputation. Likewise, this has her getting mad at Alice for making such an accusation, so Laura decides to end their friendship, claiming that she's sick of being friends with a pervy psycho. Feeling upset and without any agency in the world around her, Alice decides to act out. This mainly involves tucking in Wade's Heather bracelet underneath Father Murphy's computer keyboard to frame him for the AOL chat incident. As Alice is making her escape, Father Murphy walks up to the office, forcing Alice to hide inside the storage room. When Father Murphy sits down to use his computer, Alice is absolutely mortified as she witnesses him pulling out a downloaded porn video of a man and a woman doing the rumpy-pumpy on top of a car with graffiti. Alice has no choice but to remain inside the storage room until the father finishes with his thing. Afterwards, Alice goes outside to get some fresh air, where she encounters Chris. With Chris worriedly asking if she's okay, the two of them sit down on a bench, and Alice is just about ready to relieve the swirling confusion inside her mind. However, there's another urge to swaying Alice stronger than any other inside her, and this urge is originating from straight within her pants. And so, Alice pounces on the strong, hunky young man as if she were a starving puma honing in on her delicious prey. Chris likes it too. But since this goes against everything he knows, he finds himself overwhelmed. He stands up to stop the kissing, and when he does, he finds that his pants have become tighter. Confronted with his raging hard-on, Chris escapes and Alice is all alone once again. Later that evening, the retreat goes to enjoy a lovely campfire while singing songs of worship. Alice, however, is not in the mood for any of this. She looks at her peers and her teachers, and she starts feeling both tired and empty. Seeing them all so absorbed in their own little world, Alice takes the chance to slip away into the night and wander around town until she comes across a lesbian bar. As one would expect, Alice sticks out like a sore thumb. Luckily, the owner of the bar is very kind to her. She is a middle-aged woman who allows her bartender to give Alice one wine cooler. This chance encounter leaves a permanent mark on Alice, seeing as she's finally in a place that doesn't judge her harshly for simply being a human. Seeing Alice's forlorn look and the Kirko sweater she has, the woman tells her a story from when she used to be Catholic. Being a young woman in high school, she was guilted and shamed for the littlest things. There was even a time when she thought that she was going to hell because she ate her grandmother's gumdrops. Upon hearing how silly it all is, Alice feels relieved about her own similar experiences. Suddenly, she understands that she doesn't need to believe that she's going to hell just because she rewound a hot scene in Titanic. After her drink, the older woman gives Alice a lift back to the retreat and leaves her with some parting advice. She suggests that she should go to college somewhere in the East or West Coast so that she can be exposed to a less rigid and punishing worldview. Before they officially part ways, Alice finally asks the woman directly what tossing the salad means, which earns a good laugh from the both of them. On the last day of the retreat, Wade takes the heat for the AOL chat incident, so Father Murphy has to speak to him about it. The rumor spreads faster than fire in a gender reveal party, and soon Laura finds out. Laura apologizes to Alice and they reconcile their friendship. As the retreat comes to a close, Father Murphy gathers all the participants to an open forum. Alice uses this opportunity to take the floor and announce that every single one of them does things they're not proud of, but they should still be honest and treat each other with respect instead of shaming one another. She ends by saying that this is what Jesus wanted in the first place. Back home, Alice takes the older woman's advice and begins searching up colleges on the coast. At school, Alice also approaches Chris to clear up what happened between them, and they become friends. Later on, Alice is once again in Father Murphy's confession room, but this time, she admits that she watched someone doing it on video. She proceeds to describe the video as a man and a woman doing it on top of a car with graffiti on it. Realizing that Alice saw him, Father Murphy's face contorts in shock. Alice closes off her confession by asking him if God will forgive her even if she commits such sins, and he responds by saying it's between her and God. The confession ends with Alice receiving the penance of doing 100 prayers, but instead of praying immediately, Alice comes home and watches the love scene in Titanic. Alice begins to touch herself and notices the vibrating message device next to her. She proceeds to use it, and for the first time, Alice allows herself to enjoy pleasuring herself without shame or guilt.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Turn on notifications. And leave a like, it really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.